Cistern. Bottom left, Red Terran from the Shopify Rebellion has lost the last few in a row against Dark. Will he turn it around today, or is he going to try and wait to turn it around tomorrow in the Masters Coliseum? Our Red Terran player is ByuN. Plays against the blue Zerg in the top right corner of the map from Dragon Kaisi Gaming. It is Dark. In one of our best of 5 series, as again the last 2 ESL Open Cup Korean finals has been between these 2 players, and they have both gone in favor of Dark. So a little bit Dark favored recently, like I say, 3 in a row. He also won in the semi-finals in the Americas Open Cup 2 weeks ago. Before then, ByuN had a winning streak, 7 series in a row against him. So both sides are very, very capable of taking on the other and getting in to be a little bit of a nuisance. As you see the forward barracks immediately from ByuN. So 2 barracks for him. He's going to open up into those Reapers. He very much so knows. But he's going to start taking this. No surprises about that just yet. I mean, ByuN absolutely just kind of hitting us with the expectations that we have of him. So no surprises on that one. As you see, the opportunity really that stands is, does ByuN add on like a 3rd barracks or so? In this case, I don't think he will. But those are the kind of mix-ups and the change-ups that you can sometimes see from a player like ByuN, you know. Now a spawn pool coming up, a hatchery coming in, all of this getting ready as we do see our Reapers and our orbital coming up for the moment. This is the build which I feel like, you know, even not that long ago we were seeing every single map. Will we see it every map now? It does feel as though Terrans are generally, maybe not fully trending away from it, but they're definitely doing some different things than this. You know, it really was just like the Reaper expand of the meta for the last month or 2, but now, like I say, we're mixing it up a little bit more. There's a little bit more variety in what the Terran players are getting up to. Grenade goes down, drone took some damage. We are going to knock down one Zergling, looking for another. And as we just work our way through a few shots here and there, and getting some damage done as we continue onto those Zerglings. Link speed's still coming up, the Queens are coming through, drones in production. And that Reaper pulls away from the Lings for a couple of moments as well. Coming about, a grenade goes down. That is going to be our Queens getting caught there as we are going to come around for another Zergling. So again, a bit more damage being done. Reapers continuing around to the bottom. A couple CCs coming up, our factory coming through, reactor and the tech lab all building as you see one more grenade. Just going to get one more drone kill there as well. The Lings are going to get surrounded on the Reaper though. It just didn't quite get away. So that's one of the Reapers down. Some of the pressure of ByuN going to be alleviated. And Dark able to breathe a little easier here. Playing his own map pick for game number 1, of course, the Ancient Cistern is the go-to map pick when altitude is not in the pool, which it pretty much never is for best of 3 or best of 5, because altitude is the instant veto from a Terran. It was usually a best of 3. Ancient is the second veto of a Terran player in the TVZ matchup, so no surprises about the current map order. As our stim pack is starting through, and we do have plenty of units building up on the front now as we move our way into this kind of bio setup instead. So just moving along from that kind of couple of Reapers now more so into the kind of more traditional bio units. The Marines getting ready for some medevacs. The starport will be finished shortly as well. All of that can be brought in over the next little bit. As the starport does complete, going to switch on over to a tech lab. This thing is running forward and the Reapers are going to escape away, hop up to the high ground for a moment or 2. Stem, Marines, the Banshee all coming out. Our drone's going to go over to the right-hand side on the 3rd base. Queens and drones still just producing through for a few more moments. And you have our defenses set up nicely, though, from Dark. And obviously, he just wants to be impenetrable in these early stages. And if he can go without taking damage, if he can put himself in a good, strong position early, absolutely a good chance for him following through from there. He can just have a very good time as our couple Queens still even building. He's getting a lot of Queens up, and he's going to go double Evo Chin, but before the lair, that's something we're seeing more of recently from the Zergs as well. It's definitely been It's always an option to play either Lair, Baneling Nest, or double Evo Chamber and upgrades, and then the Lair. You know, the ordering of these has changed around a lot over time, and there's definitely kind of metas where one is preferred over the other, and I would say recently it was always Lair Baneling Nest was the absolute choice. The last week or so, double Evo Chambers have really been back in fashion. A lot of Zerg, Solar, for example, doing this a lot. Very interesting to see that kind of switch back to something which has not really been as much of a factor for a while. Melee upgrades building on the side of Dark, the Extractors coming through, Overlord still coming up, and the Banshee back to the top side. Just trying to stay away from any possible sections of trouble that might pop around here. The lair continues to build on through, so bringing that lair up. I'm just going to be having the Banshee still coming across as well, getting that going. Going to be having our army coming through, so as ByuN gets ready for his first real serious push, let's see just how well he might be able to do with it. Stem up, we're going to get rid of a whole bunch of creep teamers here to begin with, so that's already a very good start. A lot of creep going down straight away. The Marines will not really be able to do much else, so we're not going to do much when it comes to the actual, not going to do much when it comes to actual kind of damage, just clearing up creep, which is still a benefit because it means that you can have better pushes later. Typically, this position has been a really important one for ByuN recently as well when he plays on this map. He typically loves to get a siege tank down here and really push this area here, this choke point, with units. And I imagine that's why he's kind of putting his initial pressure on this side and onto this base, because if he can weaken up this area, the push he likes to do when he hits 1-1 and a couple of tanks is going to be focused around that location. You know, Dark, a lot of the time, I mean, people have been fighting that, but it might just be that Dark says, okay, you know what, you have this base, he'll back away there, especially with the creep being held back, and he can just play off the other bases, which he's already setting up for himself. So, options across the board as to what Dark will do. One more upgrade's finishing up now from the Terran, but of course, having played that fast Evo Chamber build, we do just now see the 1-1 already finished with the Zerg. That's even. What is not even is the usual timing of Baneling speed. That is completely... It's not just delayed because of the melee upgrades, it's delayed because he's forgotten about it. Like, Baneling speed should be on the way right now. It should be over halfway done, I think, actually, based on the timing of the lair. And he has just not gone for it at all. The burrow's cute, the Baneling's burrowing around is going to be nice, but he needs to go and realize that he doesn't have the Baneling speed, because without that, taking a lot of these larger fights further down the line are going to become very, very difficult. Last few Marines pulling back, more Marines up in the center. We do see a CC down on the bottom side as well, as a few Marines are going to stem up forwards. A couple creep tumors are going to get nicked away at, so a bunch of those creep tumors already going down. Marines going to load back into these medevacs. We are going to see the Lings surrounding the command center. SCV goes down as well. It's going to be a cancel. The Lings sneaking into the mineral line, going after a few SCVs for a bit. And as the Lings continue to do a little bit more, Marines still taking some damage. 6 workers going down. A couple of Banelings going to waddle in toward the natural expansion as well. One of those already dropping. Well, it doesn't look as though that'll be too much. Like I say, this position of ByuN is exactly as I described it. The tank in that little cranny there, just sitting and chipping away. This hatchery going to take a lot of hits, and like I say, I don't think Dark even needs to fight in that too big of a way. He actually loses out on a few units trying to clean up the tank in the back. Yeah, he can just give it up and just go to the base in the bottom right instead. He's also just going to continue to counterattack, hoping he can find even more damage here and really continue to throw ByuN off of his game. Honestly, the counterattack's been doing okay, but I wouldn't say it's been super crazy. 16 workers for a lot of units thrown on this side of the map. Seems manageable. I think the biggest issue is that ByuN, on the back end of all these units going down, doesn't have a good way to go forward and to kind of really punish Dark. There's so much creep in front of the other bases now. The only base that doesn't have creep in front is the one that just got killed and is now trying to rebuild. But, I mean, Dark is not desperate for a 5th base as long as A, he's got a macro hatch in the main, and B, he's done some damage to ByuN. ByuN is only on 3 bases. He's not getting away from this. He's not super desperate to hold that position, so he doesn't need to take the ineffective fights over here either. So Marines do get rid of a whole bunch more Lings, and we do get a scan up there. We're just going to be seeing the Marines getting a little bit more damage done. Marines will stem forward one more time, getting as much creep as possible, but again, you're really kind of knocking creep down in such a... Well, where are you going to go from here? You're going to try and siege the natural? Right? That's what I'm kind of thinking. Like, are we going to try Siege the Natural? What the hell is our overall game plan at this point for ByuN? Like, it feels like he's got to focus bottom right because that's where the fresher base is. That's where, you know, the lifeline of Dark is currently in this game, but he's just not over there, so that's kind of wild. Anonymous Gifter just gifted 25 subs. Can you get some love and some hype in the chat? Thank you, whoever you are, for the extreme generosity of 25 gifted subs. I will try and read those out after the game. A little bit too many to maybe do mid-game with all the names, but thank you so much. And yeah, whoever you are, I really appreciate the support in the stream. Thanks for supporting the channel today. Let's do have this game continuing then. Like I said, ByuN might have carved himself into a very good position on the top side of the map, but that's just, to me, that just again isn't really quite right now equating to anything else. You know, he's not continuing to succeed from here. I think that's where the issue is going to come around in a big way. Bane Hydra gets set across the bottom. Going to find a Marine there. Widowmine gets knocked down. 3-3 upgrades still coming up. The Lings are going to go diving for these few depots. Widowmine to get rid of a few Lings as well, since Tower also gets picked off. ByuN supply blocked and starting to lose some SCVs in the mineral line. And now Dog jumping on this position as well. Going to take down a couple of the tanks. The Marines already had to back away. $17 SCVs all getting picked up. 3-3 coming out. A couple of Vipers coming through. Just going to see +3 Carapace and +1 missiles all coming out. The Overlord speed is about to finish up here. That is going to be as well a Groove Spines that's still about halfway done on the side of Dark. +3 melee is still coming out as well. I'm just going to find one Medivac. Rest of the Lingbane Hydra coming through. The Medivac still boosting about. Just seeing all of our Zerglings continue to move around in the center of the map. Lurkaden is continuing to build up as well as bringing those Lurkers in. So another thing to kind of really push ByuN back. And ByuN, who of course has just been a little bit slow to that 4th base. And just in general right now does not necessarily feel like he's in as great a position as he might have wanted to be. That said, we're still maxed out. We've still got plenty of opportunity here. Biggest thing missing for me right now for ByuN, considering Lurkaden's on the way, Ghosts. Ghosts are absolutely going to have to be one of the near future steps here, right? Like, if you don't get Ghosts soon, these Lurkers are going to be even more terrible to deal with, as we do have the full drop into the main. Drop over here as well, so we're actually going to start splitting up the pressure a little bit, and there will be some action happening. ByuN, how well is he going to be able to trade with this? The Parasite bombs to try and clean out these Medivacs. Good split as he aims for the Lurkaden. Oh, but the Banelings crash into the Marines. The Lurkaden was not a bad target. It would have been small because he definitely isn't set to deal with Lurkers right now. More than anything, ByuN is going to use this momentum around the map to, you know, take down another base here. Now the Ghost Academy starts. Is it going to be in time? Can he get some ghosts before the Lurkers become way too much? It's a very good question, right? And do you have our Lings and Hydras going to go chilling around in the bottom right? Going to be Xenonitis starting up right here. +3 melee is coming through. The Lurkaden is finally going to get finished off, so that will fall. We never made any Lurkers, and we didn't really have the Lurker upgrade, so maybe it would have been pointless or wasteful to build them anyway. Do you wonder how knowing ByuN is of this, of kind of the state of this game, and like, you know, because it's gotta feel good killing off all these bases, but I still feel when we slow it down, we look at it, like, you know, do I love it for Dark? Well, actually, at one point I definitely did. Now, maybe not quite so much. Did you have the bio coming across? It's gonna grab a little bit of creep. Another cancelled hatchery over here. Bane Hydra unable to kind of break through on the bottom. We're just going to dance on and off of creep spread. Looks as though we are going to commit off creep to try and chase those bio units down. Widowmine's coming through. A couple of those are going to fire up, and now we're going to jump onto a sensor tower as well. And we continue into this position. Okay, well, ByuN doesn't have enough to defend. I kind of feel as though ByuN was just about getting to be in a better spot. Now his Ghost all surrounded as well. Especially after cancelling the Lurkaden, felt like he bought himself a lot of time, but this is not good at all. On the other side, there's a little bit of a bio dive. It's going to take a long time to work through Queens. They will get there eventually if nothing comes to help out the Zerg, but obviously, again, the Queens are buying time, and now the Lings are going to show up. Taking a little bit more damage, a few more Lings still just streaming in, as Dark actually has money to spend as well. If he can spend his cash, and he just goes for one big attack, this is the situation where ByuN does not really recover. ByuN lost that 4th base. Without a 4th base, life is really, again, just so much more difficult for him. If not just impossible for him to really do much else with at the moment. And trees coming up all around the upper left-hand side. Just going to be seeing that Ghost coming through. Marauders and a few Marines are coming out. The Lings continue into the bottom right corner. Hydra and our drone setting up as well. That's going to be seeing our Nidus network building in the main base. There's a few Marines and Marauders, and Ghost will just try and deny this. Dark now has Lurkers on the field. He did go into the double Lurker den, so he could get both the Lurker upgrades at once just to speed up his progress into really being set up on these Lurkers with full upgrades and with everything he'll need to make them great. As this one Lurker goes down, Dark is obviously taking every base on the map and diving down the left side. He's going to eat a pretty nasty Widowmine shot, but this base isn't going to live, and ByuN is really not in the position to let bases go down here. SCVs pull onto the base to try and repair. That's a disaster. They would have been better off trying to keep on running through. As I think ByuN just knows it's desperation time. He's going to try something that doesn't really make sense, attacking into this Lurker position. Like I say, his position in this game has really fallen apart. It's crumbled. And Dark, up 80 supply, is, again, just a mere attack or two away from closing this out. Doesn't even need another one. As ByuN types the GG, and it's going to give Dark game 1. Those 25 gifted subs. Again, just want to say thank you so much for the generosity. I was trying to get my freaking dashboard open so I could actually shout them all out. And I just about managed it, so I appreciate we just got into game. Let's do a quick round of shoutouts for all the people who got hit by a sub, so congrats too. All from an anonymous gifter as well. Eve Fam, Jack Chirac, Rafili, Chivasman03, Jack Eddy, JK, Ikari Warrior, Danny, 221322, I'm Koza, Jasheka, 69 Rock, 69, Jimmy Jamjaws, Johnny L91, Hybrid Swarm, Pebbles, 210200, Hooks 0, Pogolis, Something 157, The Super Drex, I'm Trendle, Funky Scuff, Bubblewind, Chipper, Music Junkie 66, and Gulaz 85. Congrats on getting hit by the sub-rain. Thank you so much again. And anonymous, whoever you may be, thank you very much. Game number 2 of our best of 5, and ByuN down by 1. We'll look to try and drag himself back, as I say, on his own map pick here. We'll see if he can find some success or not. As our hatch and our gas come up from Dark, we just get that ready. Spawning pool also starting as well. Just going to be seeing this overload of Dark heading down to the bottom left-hand side. A little bit of movement for the moment in these early stages. Spawn pool's halfway done. Our hatchery's going to be finishing. Barracks, Reapers, all of this on the way out, as we do have our orbital command about to finish up. And we are once again going into this 3 Reaper opening, which, again, I said we might not see every single game. So far, we're 2 for 2. So I will accept my incorrectness for the moment, but let's see if it changes at all. Going on from here as our Reaper will move out towards the upper right-hand side. This Reaper is so quick, and we are going to be seeing a couple drones taking some shots, and it's going to be a while until we have a Queen up to defend. A couple of Lings pop out, obviously. They will be able to dance with the Reaper a little bit here at least, but there'll be some work to be done as we just have ourselves a couple of Lings still again bopping about and just going through. Reapers now going to try and find a Ling in the main base, but again, well defended, and a Roach-Ron coming up already here from Dark, so prepares himself to go into Roaches on the follow-up too. This looks to try and maybe punish ByuN early. ByuN adds 2 more barracks behind this, which is going to be 4 racks in total. That's a lot of bio production. That's a lot of units that can very likely do a lot of damage. I'm not sure if the Roaches are really meant to have much of a chance against a 4 racks play. Not immediately convinced about that, as our Reaper's again diving around. The Queen is going to be there, push things away for a moment or two. It's coming over, grenade is going to pop, and the Reapers, a shame to lose these Reapers too soon, because if you lose them too early, there is obviously the issue of never seeing the Roaches coming. That's going to be the grenades all on cooldown for a moment, as the Lings are still chasing, but the Reapers are surviving. One Reaper dies, the second is just about going to live. I'm just going to be seeing the Roaches now, seeing ByuN. Well, he doesn't have time to necessarily prep a bunker out the front of his barracks, which is usually one of the main goals. You get the forward bunker up, that allows you to protect the barracks more easily. He did actually have a bunker in the base. Maybe he never wanted to defend out the base. He wants to kill that Overlord, because I guess he wants to remove the vision it provides. As no, now the Lings get in. A couple of them are going to run by. It's going to make things complicated. The barracks will now reland for the wall-off. Stimpack is unsavable, so that's just a sacrifice at this stage. Oh no, the Marauder pops out on the wrong side. The rally was not good. That's one Marauder down, and obviously Marauders are something you expect to maybe be able to help you out here. As Dark gets a little bit more money, he will actually, go Banelings. I was going to say, maybe get a couple of Ravagers out to bust down the front, but maybe just Banelings bust through and then try and overwhelm, especially if he feels as though he's done well enough initially. Okay. I don't hate it. I kind of like what Dark is doing as he begins to break his way forward. Begins to get himself set up over here. Depot will go down. ByuN will find himself supply blocked. Again, those bunkers just set up 3 of them, as we do find Dark. Again, more Lings across the map. Ready to morph in Banelings. He's going to try and bust down these bunkers and push himself through to a very quick victory on Royal Blood if this works. If this doesn't work, it's a massive investment from the Zerg. Down 13 workers currently in the game, so it is almost essential that the Zerg player wins with this attack, because he does not have the economy to follow up, and he definitely doesn't have the tech to follow up. I mean, obviously resetting Stim going to slow the tech of ByuN in a big way, but maybe not quite enough to justify everything happening here. Is there we go. The other depot gets up. I mean, only takes a Baneling or 2 to bust that down. The bunker falls. Now we're going to chase in with these other Banes. What do we want to do? We are going to go and just help out in each and every one of the bunkers. There's so many Lings and Roaches still left alive. Can't imagine that ByuN's going to be okay here. He doesn't have the units. He's trying to build off of all 4 barracks on the high ground. As we do see another Baneling hit those SCVs, bring them all low. Now they're not going to tank very much either. And again, these Roaches and Lings just going to continue to swarm, and it looks as though Dark finds himself beautifully into a 2-0 lead, taking down ByuN's 2 racks Reaper-based opening, and Dark is now up 2 in the ESL Open. Bottom right-hand corner, we're going to have ourselves the Red Terran player down by 2. Needs to try and find himself a way back into it. It is ByuN from the Shopify Rebellion. Top left, Blue Zerg from Dragon Kaiser. Dark is just killing it lately, and definitely seems to have ByuN's number. Gotta make you feel... I mean, I do feel as though you gotta feel pretty rough as ByuN heading into tomorrow series against Dark, but ByuN is a fantastic player when it comes to preparing, and he's a very smart player when it comes to build orders. So if there was a player to kind of lose today and then come back strong tomorrow, ByuN might just be it. Like, he can really change up his style, and like I say, I would not be surprised if there were certain things he didn't want to do today, based on the fact that these 2 are going to play a massive series tomorrow in the Masters Coliseum. It's got to be kept in mind. Not that you still can't play to your highest ability, not that you still can't play to a strong level. It's just unlikely, of course, to expect him to kind of go all out and really reveal all the different builds and the mix-ups and the tricks that he might have. Try and, you know, catch his opponent off guard. Reapers again from ByuN, so just going to continue with those low ground barracks, the Reaper production. Same as what we've seen before for the moment, at least. And you have the link speed coming up, the few lings and a couple of queens are coming down, the Reaper's on the way as well. So you can see one grenade already going down, and a few drones getting chased about a little bit. Link's coming around, link speed's coming up, our command center coming through as well. It's going to be having the Reaper, has to keep on dodging about as well. There's the other Reaper showing up, and it's going to be there to push the lings away. King comes over, Reaper continues to move about, just going to go onto this hatchery. We do have 8 lings still producing, so plenty of lings just to deal with these initial Reapers. You should never lose a third hatchery to 2 racks, I think is generally the consensus. But against 3 racks, it's kind of obviously much more allowable and generally is the goal of 3 racks Reaper even. Against 2 racks, like I said, it just shouldn't really happen as these Reapers, taking some shots off the queens, are going to dive in. We're a moment away from ling speed. I feel like this is a terrible time as we're going to get a little bit of creep spread boost to get in as well. Oh, good dodge around from ByuN. Gets the high ground. It's a getaway for the moment, but how much does he really get away? Yep, that's going to be the problem here, as the Reapers will try and do what they can. Lings are actually going to lose this fight. Holy crap. Don't tell me you get away with everything. Oh my god, he gets away with all 3. The micro from ByuN. Absolutely beautiful, stunning. As he gets away on the top side, all 3 Reapers survive. Once again, ByuN's micro is just absolutely on point when it comes to Reapers. Wow. That really was something as our Reapers come back around the bottom left. Stimpack on the way, Starport is over halfway done. Our command center is still moving through. As you do just have our Reapers coming over the left-hand side, and well, a couple of queens moving forward as well. Reapers will start to hit those queens for just a couple of moments. And the Reapers just move over all the way to the main. Still just keeping active, right? And that's the benefit of having kept our Reapers alive. They can stay active, they can check for opportunities, they can maybe make plays still. There's a lot of potential with them. As we do have the Reapers actually once again trying to make a getaway. This time I think the lings will catch and kill at least one, if not all. Just seeing our Reapers getting chased all the way down. The lings really do go hunting. The Raven on the way up. The Stimpack still coming through as well. We continue to bring all of that through. Very nicely done for the moment. The fact we get one Reaper only killed kind of again shows you just how good ByuN is at controlling those. With the Raven out, he's going to be able to move into this situation now where he obviously has himself the permanent detection on creep and so we'll see how much of the creep he'll end up denying. Obviously with Stim though, it's not like he's got Hellions on the map or anything. Making Marines, it's going to be part of his plan. See how we go with all of that. Melee Carapace coming through. We just have ourselves the upgrades from Dark now kicking into play. Obviously, this is all before, again, that last is going to be the later bailing speed. Something that can maybe come back to bite you. You know, it is a risk to play without the bailing speed. Couple Reapers, our group of Marines, all of this going to start moving out into the middle of our map. Our medevacs are overhead as well, and we're just going to be seeing the 1-1 upgrades, the combat shield all coming through. That bailing nest already starting on the side of Dark as well as bringing that up as our units push toward the upper left-hand side. Going to be seeing a bunch of this creep already dropping here, and this is where we see if Dark is going to be able to live. Obviously, right now, neither player has upgrades. Dark does not have bailing speed. All the turrets go down. A tank again for the Lings a little bit. The Raven will get targeted during this, however. We're now starting to kill some Queens. The Marines continue to stand and fight. A lot of the Lings going down. The Queens will be the backbone that keeps this army alive at the very end of all of this. As you see, the Baneling Nest now just about to finish from Dark Lair 2, so they're going to be lined up to start Baneling speed pretty much immediately with each other. Now I'm going to bring on SCV forward and drop a factory down as well. Hydraless Den building on the side of our Zerg. So Dark getting into the Hydra Den here, getting that ready. Get himself the transition out of just pure Ling Bane up and rolling. No surprises about that, really, I suppose, as we do have the Marines and the Medevac still sat in the center. We have the Hydra Den coming up. The Infestation Pit is building through. The melee upgrade's just finishing now. Still seeing that plus 2 melee just coming out, so bringing it through for the moment. And it's really kind of a very upgrade-heavy game from Doc right now. Bane speed, Hydra speed, plus 2. A lot of setting up for the future. Just needs to kind of survive through these moments where all of those upgrades aren't in play. Especially off the back of the earlier fight. Resources lost is kind of even, though, so this wasn't like a super efficient trade from ByuN, which, you know, isn't going to be made up for it all. And Dog has been mining well throughout, so I wouldn't say that he's necessarily in like a ton, 2 tons of trouble or anything. So he's kind of in a manageable position. Maybe a slight edge to ByuN, because I do feel like these attacks and trades have been kind of on his terms. So he's been kind of happy to take each and every one of these fights. Still see Marines and tanks sitting in the center, and a little bit more of a push forward. Some creep spread going to go down very quickly there. I have about halfway done, plus 2 melee, plus 2 carapace, all of this coming up as well. We still see some Lings, and Bane's actually going to attack on in this left-hand side. The depot's immediately in a bit of trouble, although they won't go too far. Too much will happen. That's going to be seen on Marines loading over. I'm just going to start picking up some creep. Already the tank in the center there. And the other tank, again, set pretty far back on the high ground to that first tank. Really just all about protecting yourself from the dive in from the Zerg player. Making sure that you are going to have so much splash coming out if the Terran player wants to attack into you. Or if the Zerg wants to attack into you. Eight SCVs going down as Dog does find some damage with his counterattacks. Marine's going to go through the hatchery, taking some damage. That Ling is going to come across. Tank fire is going to force a little bit of friendly fire on the Marines. Nothing too bad, though, as the hatchery will fall. A few Brutals pop out, just going to chase those medevacs away. Bane's over here, are actually going to find the entry into the mineral line, but there's not another follow. We will burrow, though, and if ByuN's not watching, okay, that could be really bad for ByuN. If ByuN didn't realize... Oh no, these banelings are so deadly. ByuN was busy elsewhere, and here we go! 16 workers. A few had already been killed, but that's a disgusting baneling burrow out of Dark. Well, ByuN is still kind of got a little bit of momentum on the map, so he's got that going for himself. Dark's going to jump on him here, though. Diving forward, what will the Widow Mines do? Not a lot to begin with. That Widow Mine extra was a little bit better. Well, it kind of feels like Dark should be doing okay. The Hydra is dealing with the remaining Marines on the top side. These Lings on the bottom kind of needed a little bit more support, perhaps, to really make it what we'd call efficient, I suppose. Resources lost, only 1.3k difference. And Dark is now starting to mine a little bit more with some of the damage he's dealt here in these last few moments, those Burrowed Banes included. A big part of the reason why now, Dark is actually going to have a little bit of an income advantage compared to previously, where that just was not really much of a factor. It's been a very even income pretty much all game until the last couple of minutes, so definitely a comparison to be made there. Obviously, if you're trading badly as the Zerg, you need to be mining more, which, like I say, is not necessarily, completely being the case this time around just yet. Changeling is going to come around, just going to be seeing the bio gathering up in the natural. We do have ourselves the medevacs healing up a little bit of bio over here as well. We're going to scan forward just on top of this base, see a bit of what's going on. Going to be an Extractor that's already going to be in a little bit of trouble here as well. So Extractor taking some hits. 15 SCVs just went down the third base mineral line. Under attack by banelings once again. As our single Zerglin here continues to go after a few of these SCVs. Our Lurker Den continues up the missile upgrade, the carapace, all coming through. And just to have a few more pushes forward. Dark and ByuN playing a very active back and forth game, to be fair. There's a lot going on in this. There's a lot happening at every single point in time. ByuN is still maintaining a lot of this position in the center, which he's kind of held throughout the game. So he's still kind of keeping a whole lot of that going. As you do see Zerglings Running around to the top, looking for even more potential damage. Again, run-bys upon run-bys. Yeah, Queen's in the center. Gonna try and go for the medevacs here. Gonna get one of them. We abduct a medevac forward, which I think is enough to guarantee the kill. I don't know if we even needed the second. I wonder if the Queens could have killed it, but it's just a bit of energy. Why not use it? Guarantee the kill. Dark is gonna lose the run-by attempt in the top right, however, so that will go absolutely nowhere. As the Lings burrow up one more time, the Marines are still moving forward. This time it's just Lings, of course, no Banelings, so no danger. As the Dropper Lord trying to find a couple of Banelings a chance to hit some SCVs as well. Dog is really doing a little bit of everything just to throw, ByuN off as best as he possibly can. Oh, he kills the medevac with the units inside there on the top as well. That's a nice grab from the Hydralisks. That's really nice as these Lings finally starting to get rid of these tanks. These have been here quite a while. This position is finally getting broken through. Some more ghosts on the way out. We are going to see the lurkers in production as well. Will really change the pacing of this game a lot as this Dropper Lord is still actively hunting for opportunities. Couple of Banes just unload here, and ByuN, he's going to see it. Ghosts to the rescue, and it is a sign for us that ghosts are obviously on the map as well. First time we're really seeing those do anything. So ghosts are here just about as lurkers are ready to roll. And both sides are going to continue to have some fun with each other, I'd imagine. There's a few Banes morph in. Our upgrades continue. Ghosts coming now. +3 attack coming through. And again, Cloak and the ghosts all continuing in as well. Medevac's gonna go boost into the main, but there's gonna be Queens in position. Dark preemptively set based on what we've already been seeing earlier. Well, the game really just settled down. I mean, obviously, Dog's still setting up some attacks. ByuN is not actually on Dog's side of the map for once. This might be where ByuN just fully begins to turtle up a little bit. We know ByuN is a big fan of that. As this would have been a lot nicer if he got a lot of the SCVs, honestly. I was kind of expecting him to find, 15 workers there. Moments like that really do generally need to kind of get a bunch of SCVs. Otherwise, the base gets replaced instantly. Getting SCVs at least is a little bit more permanent damage or lasting damage. There was a lot of units to give up for that, so I was a little worried. Oh, Nidus gets up in the main, though. This is almost never a good sign. As we are going to dive in at the same time. Baneling's going to get very close to those ghosts. ByuN pulls back last second there. But these lurkers actually not doing it over here as well. Lings are pouring out to survive a little bit longer, but the lurkers are going to stand. Nidus is actually going to get Queens out as well, apparently. Bit of everything just showing up as the ghosts are going to cloak, though. There's no detection here. Queens are going to get sniped en masse, and so will the lurkers. Like I say, no way to stop those ghost snipes coming through if we don't have vision. Well, this is actually a lot of units lost from Dark as ByuN. This is a crazy couple of moments because ByuN was moments away from losing these ghosts. I wonder if he only pulled the ghost back as well because of he wanted to use them in the main base. Because that was a moment that absolutely could have been dead for us. Oh my god, Dark's just all over him, holy crap. Dark has the units spamming out of Knights over here, he's attacking over here. ByuN wasn't even super down on supply, but he just knows he can't get back on track. Dark has so much momentum on his side, and there's definitely a lot to be said about having momentum on your side.